begin the practice in child pose. So reach your arms forward, sink your hips back. Just turn into your breath. One more deep breath in and out. And then make your way into tabletop. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, tuck your chin, round out your spine. Inhale, drop your chest, look forward. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine. Do that a few more times on your own. Moving with your breath, starting to loosen up the spine. Finish what you're doing, come to a neutral spine. Step the feet back, high plank. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. You can bend and straighten one knee, bend and straighten the other knee, pedaling out your feet. Now bend your knees, look to your hands, walk your feet to your hands, come into a forward fold. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Let your head hang heavy. Grab opposite elbows, sway the weight side to side. And now bend your knees, hands to your heart. Sink the hips back, downhill skier. Slow rise to standing. Come into your conscious mountain pose. I'm turning to the side just to make it easier to see. We're going to start moving the neck. Tuck the chin. Take your right ear toward your right shoulder. Come back through center. Left ear, left shoulder. Come back to center. Right ear, right shoulder. Center. Left ear, left shoulder. Tuck your chin to center. Take your chin parallel to the ground. Step your feet about hip width apart and sway a little side to side as you swing your arms forward and back. Start to add an elbow bend to this. And then start to rotate through your trunk. Just let your arms hang like empty sleeves. And then we'll still the lower body, start to roll out your wrists going in both directions. And now roll your shoulders back. And you're just noticing how your body moves. Notice where you feel a little stuck. Start to roll your shoulders forward. Notice where it glides easily. Hands to your hips. Start to roll out your hips. I know it feels a little bit silly. I know I feel silly too, but it can help. Okay, you change the direction of your circle. And now still your body. And you can use a chair for this to help you balance. I'm going to place it on my left side. Take your right knee to 90. Start to circle out your ankle. Just moving through the ankle joint. Change directions. Just go, make sure you hit both directions. And now start to make circles with the knee. Change direction of the circle. Take your knee to 90, bend and straighten through your knee, so a little kicking motion. And now moving through your hips, so the whole leg will swing. And then both feet to the mat. Move your chair to the other side if you're using that chair. Take your left knee to 90. Circle out the ankle. Now circles with your knee joint. Well, you're really feeling it in your hip joint. You're moving through your knee. Your knee is drawing a circle. Now change directions. Knee to 90. Bend and straighten. Now swing the leg forward and back. And then both feet to the mat. Check your watch. And then you can set your chair to the side. We're going to go into some balancing postures. Setting up our conscious mountain pose. So you're just standing, palms facing forward. Start to experiment with shifting the weight around. So shift all of your weight into your right foot. And then shift it all the way over into your left foot. And now try and distribute your weight evenly between both feet. And now just stand there, balance between both sides. Shift your weight into your left leg. Take your right knee to 90, flex your foot, arms along your side. Just balance on one leg. And then lower the foot down. Take your left knee to 90. Weight is in your right foot now. Just balance on one leg with your knee at 90. Come back to conscious mountain pose. Going into warrior 3, right knee to 90. Kick the leg back. Sweep the arms forward. Little bend in your standing knee as you pull the right knee back to 90. Conscious mountain pose. Take the left knee to 90. And then come to your warrior 3. So kick the leg back, sweep the arms forward, foot is flexed. You could even tap your toes to the ground if you need to. Bring your knee back to 90. Little bend in the standing legs, helpful. Arms along your side. Conscious mountain pose. We're going to move in between both of those two places. So take your right knee to 90, flex your foot, kick the leg back, sweep the arms forward, find the bend in your standing knee, pull the right knee back to 90 as you lower the arms along your side. Do 4 more like that, so sweep the arms forward, kick the leg back, bring the knee to 90, arms along your side. Kick the leg back, sweep the arms forward. Knee to 90, arms along your side. Kick the leg back, sweep the arms forward. Pull the knee to 90, arms along the side. 1 more. Kick it back. Knee to 90. Conscious mountain pose. And when you're ready, same thing on the other side. So left knee to 90, kick it straight back, Pull the knee back to 90, arms along your side. Do 4 more like that on your own. Stability comes before mobility. So what that means is strength is more important than flexibility. Tightness in your muscles is actually a sign of weakness. And in these transitions where we're moving in between two postures, we're building a lot of strength. So maybe the first time you do this, it's really hard and you're shaking. That's okay. Over time, you'll build up the strength in those muscles and it'll be easier. Once you're finished, come into a conscious mountain pose. I'm about to do some magical teleportation on my mat because I don't know how to use my computer that well. So hands to your heart, lift your heels. You don't have to teleport. Bend your knees, sink your hips back. And just hold there, strengthening your feet. Now slowly rise up, heels up, arms up, heels down, arms along your side. Conscious mountain pose. Sweep your arms up overhead. Come into your standing back bend. Let's interlace the fingers behind the head, elbows out to the side. Lift through your chest, engage your glutes and your low belly. Reach your collarbones toward the ceiling. Elbows to the side, just breathe here. And then come into a neutral spine, bend the knees, sink the hips back, flat back squat. Come into another forward fold. Anything you want. This is the same thing we were in at the beginning. You can grab opposite elbows, sway side to side. You can shake your head yes, shake your head no. And then make your way into your tabletop. Sink the hips back, child pose. Come back to your tabletop. And we're going to come into a camel. So you can pad up your knees here. I'm using a towel. You can use whatever you have, towel, whatever. Hands to your hips, fingers can be up, down, or to the side. Pinch your elbows together, puff out your chest, engage your lower body, come into a back bend. Then come back to your neutral spine. And we're going to move between these places. So if you have yoga blocks, you could set them underneath you, or I'm going to use a pillow, or you can do it without anything there. And then we're going to start with our knees, hips, and shoulders in a line. Sweep the arms up, sink the hips back, and then lift the hips up, arms down your back. Do that a few more times on your own. So sweep them up, lower down, and then rise up, arms down your back. And once you're finished with that, take your pillow or whatever you're using, set it to the side, come into your tabletop, and then make your way into your child pose. Take a deep breath in, long breath out, and then come back to your tabletop. We're going to slowly lower onto our belly. You can tap your knees if that's easier. And we're going to come into a cobra posture. So we'll start by setting up the cobra tail. So press the tops of your feet into the mat. Kneecaps lift. Glutes are engaged. Lower belly lifts. Your palms are back by the rib cage, thumbs are in, elbows up and in like you're squeezing a pencil in your armpit, and then the chest lifts. So the whole time you're in this posture, you're breathing, you're engaging through your lower body. And now lower down, rest the body. Bend your knees, windshield wiper, side to side. And if you can either rest your forehead or a cheek, but if you're resting a cheek, note the one you're resting, so next time you do the other one. And now, chin to the mat, arms along your side, palms down, going into a full locust. So when you're ready, everything lifts up. Your legs lift, your arms lift, your chest lifts. Just breathe here. If your breath's compromised, just don't come into it as far. In this posture, you can also be strengthening your diaphragm. If you notice as you inhale, your stomach presses into the mat, and as you exhale, you lower down slightly. Lower it down, rest the body. Sorry that the quality of my video seems to have significantly degraded. We're going to go into a tabletop now. Walk your knees forward and then spin around, have a seat. And then we're going to lay back, draw both knees into your chest, give yourself a hug, and start to make some circles with your knees. So the knees are circling in opposite directions. A little massage in your lower back as you do this. And make sure you're changing the directions of your circle every so often. And then place your feet to the mat with your knees bent. Just take a moment. And then extend your legs long for Shavasana. Just a brief Shavasana. And then bend your right knee, draw it into your chest for a single knee to chest. So your knee might come straight back or a little outside of the rib cage. Either way is fine. And now left knee bends, right ankle comes across. Press your right knee away with your right hand. And when you're ready, you can come into your supine half pigeon. A little sway side to side is nice. Left foot lowers to the mat. Extend your right leg to the ceiling. Lead with your heel. Lower the leg all the way down to the mat. And once it taps, relax your left leg. Notice how you feel in your hips. And then your left knee bends, doing the same thing on the other side. Hug your knee into your chest. Right knee bends, left ankle comes across. You can stay here and press the knee away or come into your supine half pigeon. Right foot lowers to the mat, left leg extends. Lead with your heel, lower the leg all the way down. Relax your other leg, notice your hips. Hopefully they feel a little more balanced. Now please draw both knees into your chest. And then we're going to point the feet toward the ceiling, grab for your feet for a happy baby. So you can sway a little side to side, maybe experiment with straightening one knee, straightening the other knee, trying to keep your tailbone down onto the mat as you do this. And now lower the legs down and make your way into a place where you're comfortable for your final relaxation, your final Shavasana. It can be difficult to lay still in this posture, resisting the urge to move. It's a place of surrender. Just notice your breath. Imagine that each inhale travels from the soles of your feet to the crown of your head, and each exhale from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. Start to bring some gentle movement back into your body. Maybe extend both arms overhead, great big yawn. And then draw the knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Stay on your back or roll to the side. Take a moment to thank yourself for coming to your mat. And then press yourself into a comfortable seat for a brief meditation. I recommend sitting on something that'll elevate your hips. I'm going to just use my pillow from before. And each time your mind starts to tell you a story, acknowledge that you're thinking, come back to your breath. That's the practice. Gently blink the eyes open if you had them shut. Remember to always be kind and compassionate with yourself, and be kind and compassionate with the world around you. Namaste.